Good morning guys, my name is Tommy and welcome back to the channel. How are you? I hope you're all okay. Now, a couple of weeks ago I shared with you a song by a relatively unknown artist called Ren. And Ren is a British musician, singer, rapper, actor, and he released a song called Hi Ren, which I shared with you a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was incredible. The lyrical content, the way that the song was made, the way that the video was made, the message, everything about it was incredible. And Ren actually has another piece of work called The Tale of Jenny and Screech. And I've heard it before, but I think it's too good not to share. And it is definitely something that I think you all really need to listen to because it really showcases Ren's talent. And that is what I'm going to share with you today. So this is 3 short videos. Added all together, they make one big story. And this is called The Tale of Jenny and Screech. And I really hope you like it. And I hope that you see what I see in Ren when you watch this video. Now, in just under 2 weeks, Ren has a new song released. And we will be doing a reaction to that as it comes out. So that will be a first for me because I've not heard this song, obviously. But give the Tale of Jenny and Screech a watch and hopefully you'll see the talent. If you didn't already see it in Hi Ren, you will see the talent that Ren has. So this is the Tale of Jenny and Screech. Let's just jump in. Notice here, they're similar to Ren. This is all live. He's playing this guitar live. You can see that it's plugged into his probably some kind of recording device in his pocket or in his back or something like that. I don't know whether that's it, in his pocket. This is all one take. Just bear that in mind when you're watching this.
It was a quiet, dark night in an empty street somewhere in London City. Jenny walked alone, she was dragging her feet. She was heading back home to sleep. Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor because she walked it about 1,000 times before she wanted to escape. Can you blame? Well, on the very same night, in a different place, there walked this hooded young youth by the name of James. He was 14 years old and out of his brain. He'd been smoking ganja with the boys. James, he grew up to be a kid of the street. His mates called him Screech. He was quick on his feet. He was a liar, a thief. At 14 years old, the devil had set his sights on his soul. As Jenny walked home all alone, she felt scared. Usually she was alright, but it was like there was something in the air. A divine intervention telling her to beware, maybe intuition bugging her and making her so scared. Sirens sounded in the distance with the beat of Jenny's feet. A symphony of the night that echoes crime on London streets. Jenny turns a corner, their eyes they meet. Up poor girl Jenny, a boy named Screech. Give me all your money, bitch, give it to me. If you cooperate, then you'll soon be free. I want your purse, your phone, don't fucking look at me. I mean it. Bitch, are you listening to me? Jenny freezes statue like a lady shakes stalactite. Feel like liquid nitrogen in the dark night. She tried to find strength to move, but stayed as still as a statue in high-heeled shoes. What the hell you playing at? You playing games with me? I swear to fucking God, I'll slice the rosy off your cheeks. You think I don't mean it, girl? You don't know me. The last thing you see will be a boy code. Screech reached with the sheath of the blade, with the teeth that could bite through steel and slice concrete, and he swung possessed with the devil in his chest, and the statue she was turned to butter in her breath. It was a quiet, dark night in an empty street somewhere in London City. Jenny lay still on the cold concrete. She's found somewhere to sleep. Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor, 'cause she'd walked it about 1,000 times before. I guess that she escaped. It's such a shame.
So that was Jenny's Tale, and again, there's so many things that I want to say about this that I wish I could go back and show you each one of them individually, but so far we've got the story where Jenny is walking home late at night. She's walked that street 1,000 times before. She's looking for a place to sleep. She wants to escape, and when Ren plays Jenny's part in the song, notice that the music is very light, very fragile. A lot of the cadence that he uses when he raps is quite light and fragile again. But when we see Screech's perspective on the song, it's very up-tempo, it's very aggressive, both in the way that he's playing the song, playing the guitar, and in the words, and he's shouting, and basically he's going to mug Jenny, and he says, "Give me all your money." And all Jenny's doing is she's stood still. The shock of it has turned her into a lady-shaped stalactite, she was described as. So basically she's frozen with fear or whatever it is, and we see that Screech ends up stabbing her. Ren says that the statue melted like butter, and this leads us on to Screech's Tale, which is part 2 of the story. Lovely chords.
Our story, it starts right at the end of the life of poor Jenny, clocked out like Big Ben. Dear Screech, dear boy, where did he go? He melted into the black night just like snow. Patrick, man, let me in, please open the door. I think I fucked up, Patrick, really fucked up, man, I'm not sure. I got crazy, left this lady lying still on the floor. I think I killed her, Patrick, come on, man, I can't knock no more. But Screech kept on knocking till his knuckles became sore. But there's no sign of Patrick down at number 54. No refuge for our villain, for the bitter hands of fate, with something far more sinister in mind that does away. Hey, babe, are you in? Nah, nothing really, I'm just a bit tired, listen. Can I swing around yours for a few moments? I just really miss you, babe. What the fuck do you mean you're busy? You fucking bitch! For fuck's sakes! Siren sounds approaching like a banshee in the night. The shrill cry of justice cutting like the sharpest knife. But Screech was never one to run, not one to miss a fight. One hand upon his blade, he turned to face the blue lights. Come on then, you fucking cunts, let's fucking have you then. I am Screech, I'm the boss, I'm the ender of men. You think that uniform you're wearing means that you own these streets? These are my fucking streets, and they call me fucking Screech. Rich Richard was an officer who stood at 6'3", working London on the night shift. What he didn't think he'd see was a boy running at him like an animal possessed. With no time to hesitate, he fired 4 bullets at Screech's chest.
Love that.
Our story, it ends right at the start. Young Screech and poor Jenny lying 1 street apart. An officer shaken by the boy that he claimed. 2 bodies lay lifeless, and it's such a shame. It's such a shame.
So that was Screech's tale. So the immediate aftermath of what's just happened with Jenny. He is in a state of panic, and I love the percussion knocking on the guitar in replacement of knocking on a door. He's begging his friend Patrick to see if he's in. He's looking for a place to hide, which I thought was quite nice because he's now looking for a place to escape, which is what Jenny was doing in Jenny's tale. Patrick's not at home, and what I loved was the music completely stops, and Ren himself gets his phone out to phone his girlfriend to say, "Can I come by to you?" She's busy, and he loses his shit at her, and that's when things get serious. The police are coming. You can hear the sirens in the background. He knows that the police are looking for Jenny's attacker. And instead of escaping this time, instead of running, Screech is like, "Come on then, I'm going to confront you." And then the song gets very, very up-tempo. Screech starts screaming at the police, "I'm the ender of men. These are my streets." And he runs towards the police with his blade that he attacked Jenny with. And then we hear the officer's point of view. The last thing he expected was to be charged at by this 14-year-old. Remember, the kid is only 14. And with not very much time to react, he shoots Screech 4 times. And that was probably my favourite part of the video, when the guitar is used as a rifle and muted strums impersonate the sound of a gunshot. But not only that, the actual camera work, every time that gunshot happens, the camera work shudders. And then finally on the 4th one, the camera falls down to the ground. So there's a very, very quick transition there. The cameraman becomes Screech. Whereas 10 seconds before, Ren was Screech, shouting at the policeman, "I'm going to come for you," running at you. And then, even though it didn't happen camera-wise, it must have happened because suddenly the camera is now Screech, and Screech is falling to the ground. And I didn't mention this in the first line, but in the first video, but what I really like about these 2 tales so far is each tale has started off with a line and finished off with the same line but with some tweaks. So for Jenny's tale, he says, "It was a cold dark night on an empty street in somewhere in London City." He says she's walked the streets before. She was looking for a place to sleep. She was looking for an escape. And then he ended Jenny's tale with, "I guess she found her escape, and I guess she found her place to sleep." And then with this one, the story, it starts right at the end of Jenny's poor life. She's clocked out like Big Ben. And then he finishes off Screech's tale with the same line. What does he actually say? How does he end it? There we go. So he's approaching. He's shot Screech. And then he approaches the camera. The camera is still on the floor.
Our story, it ends right at the start.
Now, I think at the beginning of this, he said, our story, it starts right at the end of Jenny's poor life. Whereas this time, he's slightly tweaked the words, our story, it ends right at the start. Which I think is really nice because he's creating this kind of mental cycle. He's reminding you of what's happened before, lyrically and melodically. And he's done that twice now on both these tales.
Young Screech and poor Jenny lying one street apart. An officer shaken by the boy that he claimed. Two bodies lay lifeless, and it's such a shame.
And I think did he end Jenny's tale with It's Such a Shame? So again, he's linking the beginning and the ends of each tale, but he's also linking the two tales together. And don't forget, in real time, these weren't released at the same time. Someone has put this video together. These were, I don't know whether they were months apart or what, but he's just reminding you of the story and he's linking these two tales together, which I really, really like.
It's such a shame.
And then you'll notice the camera just fizzles out. It just blurs, which suggests that he's passing away. And I don't know if you caught that because an advert came on, but now we're heading over to the final part of the trilogy. And this is Violet's tale. So let's hear what he has got to offer in this one.
London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. Rhythmic beats and bloodstained sheets, Our Lady weeps, she's tired and frail. To set the scene, we must rewind the hands of time for Violet's tale.
Musically rewinding. I love that.
Violet was a silent girl, grew up with violent starts. Her mother was a drinker and her father was a bastard. Every night he took her tie but never left the room. I'll spare you of the things he did, I'm sure her mother knew. Violet was a silent girl, she moved out at 16. A semi-detached council flat, paid for by a welfare scheme. Packing shelves at Tesco, stacking jars like pickled bricks. She met a boy named Stevie and he was a little prick. Violet was a silent girl and Violet, she fell fast. See, Stevie was a wrong un, but he sure knew how to charm her. Every night he took her tight, but never left the room. History repeats itself, he'd paint her black and blue and dark. She never stood a chance. The devil comes to dance. Violet, why are you always so quiet? On her bedroom door and he's irate. He's been drinking and smoking, he's up late. And he stands by her bedside, she shakes, but her eyes stay shut. You fucking slut, I know you're up. And he pinches her eyelids and folds them up. Violet, why are you lying to me, Violet? She stays silent, things turn violent. That's the sound of his fists when they fall like a crashing pilot. Hit like hailstones, one to the collarbone, full force, full blown, blood's black bone, crack, knick, knack, paddywhack, one to the jaw when the tooth spat, detached, fist connects and disconnects a bone. A quick deflect to misdirect the blow, but nonetheless his punches met her throat. Such a mess, he's left her bruised and broke. Violet, why you always so silent, Violet? Why you such a little liar, Violet? Do you think I wanna do this, Violet? In character, she stays silent. Well, say something, Violet. Silence. Fucking say something, Violet. Silence. Wait. Say something, Violet. Not one word. She stays quiet. London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. The doctor, in a state of shock, saw something here so very wrong. See, Violet, she was pregnant. Poor Violet, she was 9 months gone. Turning to the doctor, Violet broke her silence and she cried, if I'm to die right here tonight, please let my baby stay alive. The doctor soon regained composure, called the surgeon to come in. As Violet's world turned to black, the curtains closed, the lights went dim. In London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington just lost the fight to stay alive. A tragedy or a miracle, it happened on these very streets. Two twins aligned side by side. A girl named Jenny and a boy named Screech.
And that is the tale of Jenny and Screech. Was you expecting that? I certainly bloody wasn't when I first watched it. So Violet is Jenny and Screech's mother. And let's not talk about the actual story yet. Let's talk about Violet's tale in particular. So again, we have this theme of starting the song with a certain line, melody line, lyrically, and we finish off the song with the same melody line and lyrically the same with a few tweaks. And again, it's just bringing everything round full circle, which I love. It's kind of like bookends. It's kind of like creating little statements at the start and at the end of every song, and I think that's been a really nice touch. We have the guitar rewinding back to 2005, and we have Violet's backstory, if you like. She was abused by her father, because we hear him say every night, he took her tie but never left the room. I'll spare you of the details, I'm sure the mother knew. She leaves home at 16 and she meets Stevie. She's working in a Tesco's, she's living in a council flat. She meets Stevie, and again we have history repeating itself. every night he leaves the room, but never. Every night he takes time, but never leaves the room. So the same thing that happened to her as a child with her dad is now happening with Stevie. Again, we've got this kind of history repeating itself, and he very clearly says he painted her black and blue, and she never stood a chance. And then we get to the most captivating drama, if you like. The music stops, and we have this interaction between Stevie and Violet where there's violence. But go back and listen. He stops playing guitar, but if you carry on the beat that he was playing, all his dialogue, all his patterns of speech that Stevie is saying is still in time with the music. What does he say? Why are you being so silent, Violet? It's all in the same beat, so that when he comes in with the guitar, he has that percussion of the punches, and he says that's the sound of the blows like a crashing pilot. That the beat carries on, and it's seamless pretty much, so even though there's no music, he's carrying on that musical element because it's all in time. And basically we witness a physical abuse happening to Violet, and we've got this theme of why are you always so silent, Violet? Why are you so silent? And then it realizes that he's done something really bad to her, because he's like, actually, say something, Violet. And then the guitar fast forwards again. We have a reverse of what we had in the hospital ward. So we are going back to the present tense again. And we're London City, far from pretty. We've got that recap of what happened at the start, but now we're in hospital, and the doctors found out that Violet is pregnant. She's 9 months gone. And Violet then breaks her silence. She says to the doctor, if I'm to die tonight, please save my children. And we learn from Ren that actually she was pregnant with 2 children. She was having twins, and they were laid out on the very streets, and one was Jenny and one was Screech. That moment links all 3 tales up, because you realise that this song is about cycles. Jenny and Screech met the same fate. They left this world in the same scenario, in the same setting as how they entered this world. They will lay on the streets as their mother died. And I don't know if it has to be a deliberate, but Ren bookends each of his tales with this start and this finish that reminds the same, that's the same. And it's just nice that Jenny and Screech's story ends and finishes the same too. And I think what Ren is trying to do in each of his tales, he's trying to bring this full circle, because ultimately he knows the story in itself is coming full circle. We have some real similarities. Violet was abused, and in that moment of abuse, her natural reaction was to stay still and stay silent. And where did we see that before? Jenny, when the moment came and she was approached by Screech, her instinctive reaction was to stay still, and that ultimately led her to her end. But also, Screech emulated his father's behaviour, because he became violent. He was a violent person, his father was a violent person, but Violet's father was a violent person as well. So Violet had a cycle continue in her life from her dad to her partner, and that eventually passed on to her child, Screech. So the whole song is about cycles and is about cycles and cycles continuing. And what I thought was really when I heard the lyric, I thought, I wonder what he means by that. He said something like, a tragedy or a miracle.
A tragedy or a miracle, it happened on these very streets.
So when he said a tragedy or a miracle, I wondered what he meant by that. And actually, maybe the miracle is... Maybe the miracle is that Violet died. Because Violet dying meant that Jenny and Screech obviously couldn't live with the father because he was abusive. So Jenny and Screech ended up clearly being separated because they didn't know that they were brother and sister when they met in the streets. And Screech didn't know that ultimately he'd killed his sibling. And he could never know because he died before they could even give him a chance to find out. But maybe the miracle is that Violet died. Because if Violet wouldn't have died, the cycle would have continued, but only now with children involved. And maybe Stevie, Violet's partner, would have passed that violence on to Screech and to Jenny, sorry. And we don't know how long that would have lasted. Would Jenny and Screech have passed on their traits onto their children? So maybe that's what the miracle is, that is the final bit of closure to that horrible cycle of behaviour. I think this is a really, really well told story, and it's evident that Ren knew exactly what was going to happen. It's not like he's wrote Jenny's tale not knowing that there was going to be a Screech's tale, and then he come up with a Screech's tale, and then he come up with a Violet's tale. He knew this whole story out in the start, and he's written 3 very well crafted pieces of art again to explain this story. I hope that you've really enjoyed that. Hopefully that, coupled with High Ren, you can see that Ren is actually a fantastic storyteller, and he's something different. He's something different. And I can't wait to hear his latest song when it comes out in a couple of weeks. Let me know in the comments section what you thought. And if you do like the channel, then make sure you click subscribe, click the thumbs up, and share this video. And get listening to Ren, because he's got tons of stuff that you need to listen to. And yeah, I just hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, guys, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Take care.